All right, this video is going to help us with our School of Athens project. So the first thing you're going to need to do, if you haven't already, is click on the SOA, School of Athens Photoshop. Click on it. And this is going to be our template we're going to use. We're going to design right over top of this. And once you get here, you want to look in the upper right corner and see these three dots and click those dots right in the corner. And you want to do open in new window. Click that button. Once you get there, the same thing opens again, but now in the upper corner we have the download button. So we can download SOA, School of Athens. There it is. Here's School of Athens. So now we have it downloaded. Once we click on that, it should open automatically in Photoshop. Great. So now we're in Photoshop. What you're going to see is a whole lot of tools on the left. You're going to see menu items on the top and a lot of different things on the left. What you're going to want to see here, and we don't see it right now, is we want to see layers. So in the bottom corner is layers, but I want to do this. Let's all do this to begin with. Go up top to Window, go to Window up top, go to Workspace, and we want to do Essentials, but we want to reset them. So reset. So if you look over here now and you see that we have our layers, right here is layers. And right now all we have is our background, which we do. This is our background, and we need to add layers to it. And then we have Learn Photoshop and our colors, but we need, this is our most important one right here, is layers. And this here in the corner, this is my recording software, so you won't have that, but you will have this. You will have background, and then you'll have your picture. So what I like to do to start with is I will hit Control plus, and that's going to let me zoom in, and Control minus zooms out, and that's kind of fun just to try, just so you can see how to zoom in and zoom out. Control plus, Control minus. That's pretty good. I'm going to leave it right there. That's going to be a good starting point for me. And what I'm going to do is now I need to start looking for different things that I can put in here. Now, what am I looking for to put into School of Athens? We're looking for people that mean a lot to us, people that are heroes to us, whether they are athletes or musicians or politicians or teacher or whoever. We want to put them in our own School of Athens. We need to do probably between 10 to 15, somewhere within that range. So to start with, we need to have two different programs open. We have Photoshop open, and then we also want to have this open, which is our web browser, and this is Chrome. Now you'll notice I have a lot of tabs open. Earlier I used LeBron James for a different project, but we can use him again for this. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a Google search, and you would type in LeBron James at the top, or whoever. It doesn't have to be LeBron. You type in whichever person you want in your School of Athens, and then we go over here to this tab that's Images. And what I'm looking for is LeBron James. Try to be a full body picture. A lot of them are cut off. In worst case scenario, you can have them cut off, but I want to see LeBron James maybe standing or LeBron James full. So then here's LeBron James standing. Perfect. Actually, this one's really good right here. I kind of like this one. We could use this, and it's nice because it has a white background. So once we get to our picture, what I'm going to have you do is right click, and we're going to do Save Image As. So I'm going to repeat that. I click on my picture, and we get a little preview on the right, and we right click and we go to Save Image As. So we have them saved just in case we need them later. So they're saved. Great. There it is. We have it saved, but it pops up here. We don't need it here. We need it in Photoshop. So if it pops open, this is not Photoshop. This is just our photo menu. So we're going to close this. And what we're going to do is open our downloads folder, because it should have opened. There it is, right here. And this is the one I did earlier for the 8th graders. This one right here is our LeBron James. So what you're going to want to do is open it in Photoshop. Well, how do we get it into Photoshop? How do we do that? Do we drag it down right here? No, that's not going to work for us. What we need to do here is right click on it. Right click with the mouse, so you're using your middle finger on the mouse, and you want to go down to Open With. And we don't see Photoshop here, so that's not going to work. A lot of times it does, and you'll see Photoshop and you can open it there. Here's how we're going to do it. We go back to Photoshop, We go to File, Open, like that, File, Open. And then where do we go? Our Downloads folder again. And if you don't see the preview, you can click right up here and change your view so that it says large icons. There it is. Beautiful. Click on it, click open, and hopefully LeBron's going to open here. There it is. Now you're going to notice something. We have LeBron on one tab, and we have School of Athens on another tab. And notice when I click up top, it lets me go back and forth, because a lot of times what people do is they'll panic and they'll think their other image is gone. It's not. It's right here on the tab, and you can go back and forth between the two. So what we need to do is get LeBron into this one. So if I just do Edit, Copy, if I want to copy LeBron, I'm going to select all of him, and I do Copy, and then I paste him. Then I click on my tab for School of Athens, and I paste him in here. We have all this white background. We don't want any of that white background. So what I'm going to do over here is get rid of this layer. I'm going to move my record thing over here. So I can take this layer and drag it right down to the trash. I don't want it. So what we need to do is cut out LeBron. We need just LeBron. So this tool on the left, very important here. Our fourth tool down, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is called Quick Select. And what Quick Select is going to do is let us just select LeBron. So watch how this works. If I click once, you're going to see that there's a little, what's going to happen is it's going to start selecting LeBron, but not all of LeBron. What I want to do is I want to start clicking on the different parts like his hand, the ball, his shorts, his legs. I'm just clicking all the different parts on his body. Click on his shoes. And I can zoom in a little bit if I need. So Control plus, and then hold the space bar and it'll let me drag. That was Control plus, and then the space bar lets me move around. You know you have the space bar because your mouse changes to a hand. So we're going to get the rest of his shoe. We're going to get the rest of his leg. We're going to click on all those things. But you notice that there's these little things around the outside called the marching ants. And what that means is it means that it is selected right now. So if you hold space bar, it's going to let us move around. So space bar lets us move. But we want to get rid of this. Right now you'll notice our mouse has a plus on it. And the plus means add, and we want to subtract. So if I hold down the Alt key on my keyboard, I hold Alt, or I can go up here and click on the minus, and then that's going to let me get rid of certain areas. There we go. Now I still need to get part of his shoes back. Control plus to zoom in, hold down space bar to move, and now I want to switch it back to plus. I just want to get the bottom of his shoe there. There we go. It helps a little bit when we zoom in. It makes it a little easier when we zoom in. That's pretty good. Now I have most of them selected. The marching ants, as you can see, are around the outside. If you accidentally make a mistake and you click off of it or you add something you don't want, you want to do this. You want to go to Edit, Undo, and then it goes right back. So we want to copy him and we want to paste him over here in SOA. So we're going to go to Edit, Copy, and now we click on our SOA tab and we're going to go to Edit, Paste, and paste him in. There he is. Perfect. Now, how do I move him? Because right now we still have Quick Select, and that's not going to help anything. So to get that deselected, we're going to go Select, Deselect, and I'm going to click on the very top tool up here, and this is our Move tool. So we're going to click on our Move tool here, and now we can move him around, but we still can't change his size. So there's a button we need to click that's important to help us change LeBron's size. I know he's big, but he's not going to fit within the entire thing. So what we need to do is click on Move and go to the very top. And there's two things we want to do. The first one is Show Transform Controls. So Show Transform, and that's going to let us make him bigger or smaller. Go great. And the other one we want to make sure we check is this box. We want to have the box, whoops, not that one. So we want to make sure he's in place. Double click to make a commitment. Double click once you made your size change. Double click and then move your mouse up to auto select. So now it's going to automatically select LeBron. And when we have another image in here, it'll let us click on it to select whatever layer that we want. So notice over here, I want you to take a look over on the side where our layers are. So we have our background and then we have our LeBron layer. Watch this. If I click on the eyeball next to the layer, that's layer 1, if I hit the eyeball, watch, he disappears. Now he's not deleted, he's just disappearing. See this? Now if I click the eyeball in the background disappears. Checkerboard just means empty. So I can turn my layers on and off. Here's my layer 1. If you really want to, you can double click on layer 1 and rename it. You can write LeBron on here and call that layer LeBron so that when we have other layers, you can go in and make that change. So we can click on LeBron. We can always change the size. If we move our mouse outside, we can rotate him and make him upside down. Let's say you change your mind and you don't want them upside down. You go to Edit, Undo, and it goes right back to where we want. I'm going to hold spacebar to move my screen again. And what I want you to do is place all these characters within this space. I want you to have between 10 and 15 different characters. So that means you're going to have 10 to 15 different layers here. Every time you paste in a new character, it's going to give you a new layer. And then at the end of every period, what we want to do is go up top to File, Save, File, Save. And it may ask you this question for Photoshop format options and maximize compatibility. Just hit OK, sure. Or you can click Don't Show and click OK, and that's fine. So did it save? Let's find out. Yep, if it's grayed out, which means you can't click on it, it means you did save and it's all set. So you're going to repeat this step going back. You're going to paste in a new picture or File, Open, a new picture. So let's do the next step. Let's find another person here. Here we go. We're going to type in a new person. Let's do Peyton, whoops, Peyton Manning. There he is. So we want to do Peyton Manning standing. Let's see if we can get his full body picture. Let's find him. One with a pretty good background. Let's see what we got here. So let's find, we'll go with this one here. This one's pretty good. So what I'm going to do is right click, save again, save it, and then this pops up, but we can close it. Then we go back down to Photoshop and we go File, Open, and find it. There it is. Open. And then we repeat our steps. We go over here to our Quick Select tool and we want to click, and you can click and drag, and you want to click all the parts that we need to get like this. You'll notice it's selecting part of the background. Oh, it got too much. So we select our minus button and we start to get rid of some of the outside part here like this. And then we want to zoom in, Control plus, zoom right in. We're on our minus button now. So I'm going to make my brush a little smaller. Right now it's on 30. I'm going to make it 14 so I can get in here and get rid of this stuff. There we go. Let's add a little bit. So go back to plus. Let's get the top of his head. We didn't have the top of his head here. So click, click. Now we're going to go back to minus. Get rid of this part here. Nice and easy. Get rid of that around his ear. That's pretty good. Looking down, let's make sure we have, oh, we got to get rid of this in the middle here as well. So you can click and drag. You don't just have to click once. You can drag the mouse, kind of like you're painting. Drag the mouse, get rid of a little bit of that. And then we're going to do Control minus. And we're going to do Edit, Copy, and go back to School of Athens, Edit, Paste. If this comes up, if it's a profile mismatch, it won't matter. You can hit Don't Show, click OK. There he is. We go to our Move tool, and we have our transform buttons already on, so we can make him bigger or smaller. We can place him back here if we want. We should probably have him a little smaller if he's in the background because he's further away. Double click to commit. Now notice here, he's now called layer 1. So I'm going to double click and call this Peyton, enter. And now you can see we have two layers. We have LeBron and Peyton, And as long as I have auto select on, auto select layer, not auto select group, auto select layer, if I click LeBron, I can move him. If I click on Peyton, I can move him. So you want to repeat this step 8 more times until we're totally complete and we have your whole thing filled up. And then we go back to File, Save, and we have it save again. And that's how we're going to do it. When we're finished, we will upload, and I hope you enjoyed the video.